Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us. I'm Terrence Wall, and I want to thank Inspired by Somerset for hosting us today. Welcome to the Monmouth Regional Chambercast. We have a fantastic event today. We are celebrating Women History Month. Recently, March 8th was International Women's Day, and I have to tell you, this is the best place to launch a special edition of Outnumbered, because we have so many powerful women here today, and they're going to share their stories and their talents and their history, so you can leave here in a very brief period of time with great information you can use that empowers you, both men and women, across this state, across the globe. Listen to this podcast and hear from the folks who are making things happen every single day. We want to thank you to our sponsor, Lakeland Bank. We appreciate you sponsoring these very important events, these educational events. We have two fantastic guests today that I'm going to introduce, and then what we're going to do, we're going to go around the room so you can see the folks that are here, and you know so many of them already because you've worked with them, whether it's philanthropic endeavors or other different business endeavors. So Carol Stillwell is here with us today. She is the CEO and president of Stillwell-Hansen. And I have to say, Carol has a special characteristic that I think is so rare today, and it's so important. I shared it with her before we started the podcast. There's a certain characteristic that we need more of with all of the folks and ourselves to be authentic in life. Carol is real. She's authentic. What you see is what you get, and whether it's her passion for philanthropic endeavors or the businesses that she's involved with, you'll see it today and learn from it. And that's why so many people are here for you, and also for Maggie, who's representing the Assistant Director of the New Jersey Small Business Development Center at Brookdale. Who made it happen and make it happen every day, particularly the women who make this state and this country and this nation great. And you should give yourselves all a round of applause. So I'm honored to be the host of this event today. And what I'd like to do is first I'm going to talk a little bit about Carol Stillwell, and then we're going to talk about Maggie and give the backgrounds, and then we're going to go around the room, okay? So, you know, oftentimes you hear about a different event, and you're going to be honored soon with 180, Turning Lives Around. We're going to talk about that a little bit, which is incredibly special. But that speaks to your drive and your passion to give back to others, to mentor the next generation so they can learn and grow. You know, it's interesting. We're in Bellworks right now, masters of physics. We're going to hear from two powerful women who turned 72 hours into 24, all right? This is about getting things done. Carol is the owner, president, and CEO of Stillwell-Hansen. It's a leader in data center infrastructure solutions, and she may give you a fun fact about the HVAC systems in Bellworks, too. So we're waiting for that. The company offers a complete menu of data center products, including power, precision cooling, fire protection, and traditional HVAC products. Carol began with the company in 1964, working her way up the ladder to president in 1991. Stillwell-Hansen has been named as one of New Jersey's top 250 companies, and Carol has proudly been recognized as one of the top women business leaders in New Jersey each year from 2009 until 2022. She serves on numerous boards, and I want to list them because oftentimes you'll hear about a board or a committee or a philanthropic endeavor during a singular event. But in totality, I want to share these organizations with you, and so many powerful women in this room are part of these organizations as well. But when you hear these names, think of also how you may be involved in those organizations, how you may also share and give back and leverage the work of Carol and her peers, including those in this room, to help make these organizations thrive. She serves as on the Count Basie Theater Board, the Bayshore Medical Center Board, Brookdale Community College Board, Hackensack Meridian Hospital Foundation, the Monmouth Medical Center Foundation Advisory Board. She's on the Monmouth University Board of Trustees, Parker Family Advisory Board, incredibly important organization, Lunch Break Advisory Board, another incredible organization, as all of these are, United Way of Monmouth and Ocean County, and also notably 180 Turning Lives Around. But she's also devoted her life and her time and her talents to philanthropic endeavors. And I want to share some of them with you. Some of them you may already be involved with. Some of them you may not be as familiar with. And now maybe you can look up their website and help these organizations. It's 180 Turning Lives Around, ALS, American Heart Association, Ashley Lauren Foundation, Bayshore Hospital Foundation, Boy Scouts of America, Brookdale Community College, CASA of Monmouth County, an incredibly important organization, as they all are. Central State Hospital, Linda Cardinale MS Center. And follow the story of Venture USA, Vito Cardinale, the man who's intending on killing MS. Watch that story and look that up. He needs your support as well. And that's the Linda Cardinale MS Center over at Central State. CFC Loud and Clear. Monmouth University. Monmouth County SPCA. Family Promise. Girl Scouts of America, of course. The Count Basie Theater. Tigger Foundation doing incredible work, the Valerie Center at Monmouth Medical, and many various YMCA efforts. Carol, and she'll share this with you, she's humbled by all of the honors of the many organizations she supports and awards that are too numerous to list. And I want to thank her for being here as well today and give her a round of applause. Thank you very much. So since 1979, the New Jersey Small Business Development Center, that some may know, at Brookdale Community College has offered comprehensive training and counseling to small business owners and entrepreneurs. And that's where Maggie hails from today, to share both her story and also the work that you can engage with Brookdale and all of their various endeavors, especially if you're starting out and you're working on business plans and things of that nature. Also access to various grants and planning for women and all folks who are looking to start a business or expand it. She has over 30 years in business management. She may not have shared with you, she was a leader for 15 years at AT&T. She started in business in sales in Kansas City. She earned an MBA in marketing and was promoted to the New Jersey headquarters in Basking Ridge. She was strategic planner, travel market manager, national sales communication manager, and regional director of university relations, responsible for billion-dollar revenue streams and multi-million-dollar advertising budgets. That's the kind of talent that you're going to hear today. And I thank you I see folks from the schools, the home to school system, where I serve as vice president of the board are here. It's really important to help the next generation. Maggie left AT&T and with her husband ran Concession Supply Company, small wholesale distributor of snack foods, providing supplies, machinery, and fun foods to retailers, schools, and concessionaires. If you had a snack, a churro, a pretzel, you could thank Maggie for that. Thank you, Maggie. Prior to joining SBDC and Brookdale Community College, she also embraced the marketing opportunities to be an adjunct professor in Hudson County College, giving it back as a teacher of the next generation, who we have here today as well. When not supporting small business owners, she also serves as the historic preservation of Colts Neck. She's also an expert genealogist, as I understand it as well. So she'll not only tell you where you can go, she's going to tell you where you've been. So that's right. So I want to thank you both for being here today. We're going to go around the room for briefly introducing ourselves, and also want to hear from Lakeland sponsor, and also Holly Schultz, who's also our sponsor today. Thank you so much, Holly. So again, for those who don't know me, I'm Terrence Wall, a lifelong resident of Homedale. I'm a public sector administrator, serve as vice president of the Board of Ed. I did 9 years of penance on the Homedale Township Committee a number of years ago. And I'm the proud husband of my beautiful and powerful and strong wife, Jeannie. So thank you, Jeannie, for everything that you do. And we'll go around the room. Thank you.
Oh, goodness. Hi there. My name is Maria Barella, and I work for Diane Turton Realtors here in the Homedale office.
Welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Solin Lee from Diane Turton Homedale office.
Good morning. I'm Beth McGovern from Holistic Care Hospice.
Good morning, everyone. I'm new today. My name is Jen Carback. I work with Caring People. We're a home care and care management organization, opening an office in Homedale next month.
Good morning, and I want to just say thank you so much to both of you, because I'm really honored to be in your presence today, as well as many other fabulous women that are here. I'm Angela Ashley. I am with Infinite Care, soon to be the Red Bank Rehabilitation Center for Healing, the old Chapin Hill, Majestic, and I'm very looking forward to this event. Thanks.
Good morning. My name is Anastasia Bischoff. I am here with Immediate Care.
Good morning. My name is Christine Morawchek. I'm the relationship manager for the SBA department at Lakeland Bank. We're one of the sponsors today of this event. I'm so excited to be here because, as you know, women entrepreneurs are leading the workforce and building businesses at record rates. And as a woman small business lender, I have the opportunity to help that growth. With the SBA 7A program, we provide financing for commercial real estate, business acquisitions, changes of ownership, working capital needs, and so forth. So feel free to stop by and say hello. I'd love to see if we can help anybody today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Carla Scarabino, Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore. We serve 11,000 members in Monmouth and Ocean County, helpfully building the next generation of female leaders.
Hi, I'm Randy Zomkachovich, and I'm the Development Director at 180 Turning Lives Around, and we're very excited to be honoring Carol.
Good morning. My name is Caitlin Tamayo. I'm also with 180 Turning Lives Around, and it's a pleasure to see you in person, Carol, so thank you.
Good morning. I'm Irene from Irene Kesselman Photography, your portrait pro right here in Homedale. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Michelle Fugit. I'm Director of Recreation for Care One in Homedale. I'm the person that's supposed to keep everybody happy while we help your loved one get better.
Thanks. Marge Guglielmo, Press Communications. That is Thunder, the country station, The Boss, B98, and The Breeze. So we have you covered somewhere in there with our radio stations. We also have a career fair coming up May 3rd. If you're interested, it's at Jumping Brook, and I have information. Thanks. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Cartier, the founder of No Limits Cafe, a lunch cafe in Middletown that employs adults with intellectual disabilities. And I just want everyone to keep in mind that there are many strong women with intellectual disabilities as well.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dorothea. I am the owner of Zando Financial, a full-service financial planning firm, and I'm also the co-founder of the Victor Zando Foundation, a local nonprofit.
Hi, Al Aloisi, your independent insurance broker. I provide a high level of service. Actually, insurance companies actually work for me because I shop around and find the best plans for you. Al Aloisi.
And Al is our piano player. He's our thank you, Al.
Good morning, Russell Gartz with Collier Youth Services. For 50 years, we've had a residential home in Red Bank for teenage girls to help empower them, provide safety and a place to heal and become strong women.
Yes, and we know, Carol, you're a supporter of Collier Youth Services. I don't know if that was on the list. There's so many. Yeah.
Good morning, Pat Zilli, Carney Bank, branch manager and business development officer out of the Little Silver branch.
Good morning, Shari Taramuzzo, Carney Bank, Treasury Management Officer, and also assist with business development.
Good morning, Gabrielle Carasone, Marketing Manager for Stillwell-Hansen.
Good morning, Belinda DeCastro, Financial Controller for Stillwell-Hansen.
Good morning, I'm Patty McCallie, a good friend and supporter of Carol Stillwell.
Ann Davis, also a good friend and supporter of Carol Stillwell and counsel for Stillwell-Hansen.
Good morning, I'm Carly Dietrich. I am with Seacrest Recovery Centers. I'm a business development specialist. I help anyone struggling with addiction in our community get help.
Hi, my name is Sherry. I am owner of Love Health Holistic Health Coaching. I help people heal emotionally, mentally, and physically and live healthy, happy, and successful.
Good morning, I'm Shannon Eden. I'm the Executive Director of the Monmouth County Historical Association.
Good morning, I'm Serena DeMasso. I did some penance with Terrence on the Township Committee and continued on all the way up to Assembly. I'm now the former Assemblywoman for this district, but I am of counsel for Florio Perucci right here on the 3rd floor.
Good morning, I'm Ann Mohammadi. I just retired from PricewaterhouseCoopers and started a corporate growth strategy practice and also joined the advisory board for lunch break.
Good morning, Karen Smith with Keller Williams Central Monmouth, right down the road here, a 37-year Monmouth County resident. I'm here to help you find your next address, whether it's commercial or residential.
Good morning, everybody. Carolyn Burtnick, Director of Tourism, Monmouth County.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mike Winicki. I'm the Executive Director at Octopus Music School on Route 35 in Middletown. We work with students one-on-one, coaching them on all different instruments so they could hopefully one day be as good as Al on piano.
Good morning, everyone, and congratulations to all
all of the Power Women that are here today. Thank you so much for being great partners. My name is Howard Stein. I'm the owner-operator of Home Helpers here in Freehold, New Jersey. I service the Monmouth County area.
Good morning. My name is Marissa Medina. I'm the Executive Director of the Foundation at Bayshore Medical Center.
Good morning. My name is Jamie Higley. I'm with AmRamp. We are a wheelchair accessibility company. We provide ramps, stair lifts, and other systems for your home, residential or commercial.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Danielle Arno. I own Artworks Events. I help people have fun and get creative with corporate, team building, step-by-step art events for any occasion with a variety of different project options. I do fundraisers, really any type of event, and I travel and bring everything on site to wherever you're interested in having it. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Adrienne Marsigliano from Exit Realty East Coast, and I've been a resident of Homedale for 28 years and one of the founding members of this committee. And I just want to say, if you have any real estate questions, please ask Adrienne, 908-601-3766.
Good morning, Sherilyn Przyslomski. I'm the owner of Business Enhancement Services and Training Consulting. I am a senior certified HR professional.
Holly Schultz, I'm the Director of Operations at Easy Docks Marine Construction and a benefactor of Carol Stillwell's sage advice, who helped me make a change from a 25-year career and jumped into the river not knowing what I was getting into.
Holly is one of our sponsors today. Thank you, Holly. That's personally one of the sponsors, right?
Hi, good morning. I'm Kathleen Hoffman. I'm the administrative assistant for the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning. My name is Jamie Campanella. I'm a junior at Homedale High School, and next year I'm interning for restaurant management at a Homedale-owned restaurant, Gabriella's.
Hi, I'm Ava Churchio. I'm a junior at Homedale High School, and I'm looking to find an internship at an accounting firm for my senior year.
Good morning. My name is Elliot Cohen. I'm a business education teacher here at Homedale Schools. I want to thank the Wall family for inviting us once again to the chamber meeting. I'm also the internship coordinator, where we place high-performing students that are in their senior year at a variety of businesses, like these two young women here, for their senior year so they can get hands-on experience learning.
Morning, everyone. Michael Henry here, Homedale High School graduate, class of 17, now working for the Data Pros, a managed Microsoft partner here in Bell Works.
I'm Jeannie Wall. I'm the owner of Hometown News LLC, a woman-owned business, and I publish for Tap Into for Homedale, Colts Neck, Middletown, Hazlitt, Keyport, and I have had over 71,000 different readers from all over Monmouth County. Thank you. And we have Ming here today from A Shared Universe. Thank you, Ming, for everything. Did we miss anybody? I know Rob Stolker's in the back there, owner of Bubba Coos, Hummingbird Sports, right? And a Homedale resident. Thanks for being here. Anyone else? What? Oh, hello. Tom Zapsik, the photographer for the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. We aim to make you look good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Therese Rolke. I'm the executive director of this incredible chamber, and thank you all for coming here. It's so nice to see all of you. And I do want to say we do have a Women in Business luncheon on April 20th at Adventure Crossing, so that's going to be a really good event. I did hand out calendars. If you didn't get one, come see me and I'll give you a calendar. And we're looking for sponsorships for future events here. $250 gets you spotlighted and lots of publicity, so thank you.
Thank you. And just a quick note, Mr. Stoker is here. You mentioned the new endeavor, but he's the owner and creator of Hummingbird. Hummingbird designs helmets for girls lacrosse and empowers girls and protects them from the very real stats on concussive injury in women's sports. So thank you for the work that you're doing on behalf of all women. And I also want to share from all the men here, we're beautifully outnumbered and so appreciative and blessed that we're here. But we want to say, and I want to say on their behalf, and I know they agree, with sharing a simple 2 words: thank you. We may not always comprehend and appreciate the volume of effort that you put forth for your businesses and your families and your extended families and your generational family. It's sometimes hard to comprehend the effort of the women in our world. So thank you sincerely from all of the men here and all of the men everywhere. It's heartfelt, and we mean it. Thank you so much to all of you. Let's get started. Carol, I'll start with you since she's so close to me right here. Carol and Maggie also making it real for us today. Tell us a little bit about your journey. So folks who may not know Carol Stillwell, may not know your family's journey. Tell us about that, how you got started, and let's dive into that.
Well, Terrence, I think you mentioned that this whole entire program is only an hour. I already know that it's 9:36 because the clock's in front of me.
Daylight savings time, we're going to work that out.
There we go. So in any case, for me to probably explain the journey would take a long time, but I'll try to see if I can make a shortcut to it. When I was a very young girl, my mom, we were born in Elizabeth, New Jersey, moved to Roselle Park, New Jersey, lived upstairs from my grandmother's tailor shop. My mother had a little apartment up there. I have one sibling. She is I say she's my better half. We're very, very different. We're twins. Many of you do know Mary Ann. I am truly blessed to have her. She's a stage 4 colon cancer survivor. And I can thank Dr. Ken Nahum and Dr. Parker for this. 2012, and we're now going into 13 years. And I think that is some of my blessings that when I look back on my life, and that is certainly one of them that I want to talk to you about. But when I was growing up, my sister and I were very different. I was a tomboy growing up. I played baseball, softball, basketball, and I played with all the boys. But the reason I played with all the boys was they didn't have any of the equipment. So I did, so that I got to have the opportunity to play all of the sports. And as I grew up in a little town called Roselle Park, living upstairs from my grandmother's tailor shop, with my mom, my dad, my mom being a waitress, standing 10 hours a day on her feet, my father, a little mason contractor. I wanted to go out with my dad and see what he did. And I was maybe 8 or 9 years old, and I would beg him, and he took me. And I was amazed by the houses that he built. And from that moment on, at age 10, I said to myself, first I thought I wanted to be a cowboy or a fireman, but then I realized that was probably at age 6 or 8. But at 10 years old, I knew I wanted to be in construction. And in my journey in my life, my mother taught me a very, very strong lesson, and that was to believe in yourself. And it's that word that I've carried all along in my journey, to believe in myself. That no matter where your life takes you, she said, you must believe in yourself. And when I look at everybody in this audience, and there are many people here that I certainly know, very strong women that are here. And I will tell you that as I've listened to the introductions today, I know that each and every one of you, if you leave with that thought in mind, don't let anybody tell you you can't be what you want to be, because you can. You just must believe in yourself. I know by just listening to you, you just pick up the phone and call me. Talk to Holly. She'll tell you. I'll tell you a little bit about the journey you're on and where you're going to go. Sometimes, as we often said, it takes you down a road that you didn't think you would be on. But that might not be so bad. In my journey in my life, I've made a few mistakes. And through those few mistakes, they were my best lessons. So in this journey in life, my mom told me you could be what you wanted, and I wanted to be in construction. How was I going to get into construction? In 1964, 69, I can assure you women were not in construction. They were answering a telephone, they were the receptionists, they were making coffee, except in my office they would never ask me to do that because I can't make anything, I just dial it. But that's what women did. And I said, oh my goodness, how am I going to get there? And in that journey in my life, I remembered those words, believe in yourself. You have to start somewhere, and that's that road that you travel. So I went to a trade show, and I met Gordon Stillwell at a trade show, and was very impressed with him. It was in, I think, I started with the Gordon Stillwell in 1969, so I met him in that trade show just prior to that, right out of school, and was so impressed. And I remember my mother's words, and she said, you have to travel the journey, believe in yourself, and find good mentors, good people that can lead you in the direction you want to go. And I can tell you, along this journey, just so that you know, in October I'll be 77 years old. So it's been a long journey. And I can tell you, thank you everybody that's in this audience today that have been great mentors to me. Because without you, I honestly believe that I would not be where I am today. So I want to thank you, and you know who you are. And I want to also say to those that I haven't had the opportunity to know personally, let's go have I would say a cup of coffee, but I'd say let's go have a glass of wine. But in any case, in that journey, I met Gordon. I came to work for Gordon. The business. And then from a secretary, I went to an office manager, then a director of operations. And in 1995, Gordon's partner retired, and I bought the business out. I bought the business. In fact, I wish I knew like Lakeland Bank and all those people then, because I didn't know a banker then. I did have some money in a 401k program. I didn't know how I was going to buy the partner out. I took $1 million loan, and I remember turning to one of my colleagues that day, and I said, I don't know how I'm going to do this. She turned to me and said, what did your mother tell you? Believe in yourself, you'll get there. I paid that $1 million loan off. That was a 5-year loan in 3 years. And this company, I will thank you. This company I'm here 53 years in this company, and I will tell you that the average person with me in Stillwell-Hansen, who has contributed truly to the success of where we are and what we do, has been with me 40 years. They came, and many of them never left. Some I would have liked them to travel that road that Joel Osteen said, sometimes God closes doors on us, take a different path. But I will tell you, 40, I have a gentleman that's on May 1st will be with me 41 years, and the average person truly is with me 40 years. And now we're building the new generation of strong women and strong men, because we are, just so you know, a WBE. And many times people will say to me, well, then I presume that when someone comes to interview for you, you hire the woman. And I said, I would be hypocritical, because we as women we're already faced with that path of being judged because we're a woman. I'm going to hire the most qualified person. And in my company, that's what we have. Talented, qualified people that are carrying the vision on and the culture of Stillwell-Hansen.
And that's why they're just so successful. I have a question for you. Let's go back to that trade show for a moment.
Sure.
And Maggie, your work, had you met Carol at that trade show or before that trade show, talk about the resources that, right, you're looking for mentors and looking for different things, resources. Now you have the New Jersey Small Business Development Center. Had that been there for Carol when she was navigating the business loans or those different dynamics, how would your work fit in for folks that may be on a similar journey and are at that delta point?
Sure. Is it on?
Is it on?
It is? Okay. Absolutely. Our biggest challenge at the Small Business Development Center is making people know that we're there. We are funded in part by the SBA and state funds and some private funds, but we don't have a budget for advertising. So that's one of the reasons we're out here doing this right now. We want you to all be aware of it and spread the word, right? Because we do have so many wonderful resources for everyone. That's our main goal. We have paid consultants on our staff to help you with digital marketing or insurance questions or developing your business plan. But more than that, we want to go and seek out whatever resources you need. We're designed to be a conduit for whatever you need. So at that point, yes, if Carol had come to us, we would sit down, we'd help her, either write for the first time or revisit her business plan, really understand her goals, and then it should be a roadmap to get there, right? And then we would be looking at, what we could provide to help you get there.
Do you have a business card? Because I think we may be looking for another loan, so just before you leave, give me that.
Absolutely.
Well, and part of the chamber meetings, the organic networking is incredible. In fact, one of the success stories is a company called Fasten. Can you share that story? And that came right from a chamber meeting with folks getting together and talking. You want to share that story because that's right on your
Yes,
plan.
that was just as I came to this position, and it was part of what lured me in right away when I heard the story of these two mothers who identified a need and then sought to develop a solution to that in adaptive swimwear. They started out mostly for toddlers and infants to be able to sort of open up the swimsuit and had magnets to be able to, change the diapers or help them go to the bathroom or whatever without having to deal with a sticky swimsuit all over. And then they even made it into adaptive wear for the elderly or the disabled. And they went and they're very, very smart and got patents right away. Because as soon as it took off and they did well, somebody would have tried to, steal their idea. But because it was patented, they got a tremendous buyout by, one of the largest swimwear manufacturers in the country. So I just love the story that, just two moms, and of course they had a business background. They had that savvy. They knew how to put a whole business together, but it was all, identifying a need.
And Maggie, what do you find is the biggest challenge that's still facing women in business today? And how do women entrepreneurs, how do they differ or not from their male counterparts from your experience?
That's easy. Let me put a little context for you about women in business today. Okay, 40% of the businesses in America are owned by women. That sounds good until you realize that, of course, the gender distribution isn't that. There's more women in America than men, right? So we still have a ways to go. But the trajectory, I struggle with that one, is obviously very good. I mean, in 1972, 400,000 women owned businesses in America. In 2022, 12 million do. Okay, so we've come a long way. Just to throw out some other numbers, the one that always amazes me is that in 2022, 1,870 new businesses were started by women every day. I mean, think about that, every day. So it's wonderful. But back to your challenges, Terrence. The ones you would expect, balancing, work life and your personal life, of course. And as Carol said, the expectations of people, often, identifying you more by your gender than your competency. Obviously, that's a problem. But the biggest one is really access to capital, is understanding how to work with the banks and all that, right? 60-some% of all women businesses are self-funded because they don't go to seek financing. You can start a business on your own, maybe using credit cards and all that, but if you want to scale up and grow, you're going to need to seek financing. And it's just really still sad that I think only 3% of venture capital goes to female-owned businesses. And yet, the irony is, when they look at the performance of those businesses, they outperform the male businesses. The ROI is like twice as much as the male businesses funded by the venture capitalists. So somehow that all really, really has to change.
And I see a knowing smile on Carol's face. What do you tell us? Share with us what you're thinking.
Just about what Maggie just said about, I don't want to sound that I'm prejudiced toward women in business, but I am to some degree in the sense that even though we're a WB, what I find with women in business today.
WB, Women Business Enterprise? Or is
that would be me.
I just want to get the acronym.
WB, Women Business Enterprise.
Just getting that acronym out there, yes.
Is that women are better communicators in my mind. And
Agree.
Thank you, Terrence. When I met you.
The answer is yes.
Yes. The answer is yes.
What was the question?
Yes. Women are better communicators. What was the question? In any case, it's interesting because in my business, and it's a technical business without a question, I have found that you can hire somebody or look at their resume and their skill sets with regard to the technical application is there, but you can't teach them a personality or how to communicate. By the time they've come to me, they either have it or do not have it. And so when I'm looking for somebody, I'd rather hire somebody with good communication skills that can interact with people and grow to learn the technical side. So remember that, each and every one of you, as you grow your business or look to it, don't always look at the strong resume that has the technical skill, but balance it with somebody with great communication.
Do you teach also communication enhanced, like those kinds of skills with the folks over at your work, Maggie?
That's an interesting point, because I'm seeing a void, maybe a need, because we do focus on, fundamental business skills, writing a business plan, financing, developing a marketing plan and bookkeeping, how to use QuickBooks, all that good stuff. But I think maybe, some fundamentals of communication would be a good idea.
One tragic situation in our country is the pandemic, which we're coming out of here. I'd say we're out of. But that stifled education, communication, socialization, particularly through K-12, our next generation, that get lost in scrolling and the disease of social media, frankly, and these phones. Reconnecting folks and getting them together, that kind of education. Do you find that in the cohorts that are being hired today, that it's getting out of the pandemic? Has that been a challenge for either one of you? Could share what changed, or how are you managing getting out of this?
The pandemic was a good news, bad news story, obviously. Women were much more adversely affected by the pandemic than men, for a number of reasons. One, the industries that they are predominant in were had more negative impact on them, say hospitality, beauty salons, daycare, anything like that. So they were more likely to lose their jobs. They were also expected to do more at the home, right? To help that child who was trying to do the homeschooling and all that. So they were definitely adversely affected. The good news is that prompted a lot of women to reconsider their whole path, right? And so the incident of women starting businesses since the pandemic is now skyrocketing, particularly in the minority communities. Prior to the pandemic, the highest group of women starting businesses would have been the Hispanic women. Since the pandemic, it's actually African Americans. It's very interesting, seeing that they've now seen, no, I want the flexibility of having my own business. I want to follow my passion and not do something drone-like or whatever. So it's really interesting to see that dynamic happening.
Thank you for that. In real estate they say it's location, 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 but based on this conversation, for succeeding, success, and empowerment, it's education, 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 right? From mentors or schools. Now, what some folks may not be aware of, Carol is going to have a Georgian Court University honorary degree ceremony upcoming in May. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
So, I was wondering if you can share your thoughts. We're talking about education, but your thoughts on receiving this prestigious honor and how the educational side impacts women and their careers and their path.
I think for me, I'm number one, I'm humbled to be receiving this award on behalf of my company's contribution to the community and as a woman in business. I would say that for me, my education path was high school. That was it. I was born in 1946. I basically started working right out of high school, and there was no money. There were no scholarships. I don't think I even heard the word scholarship at that point in time. There just wasn't any. And so you had to find your own path and figure out how you were going to get there. And for me, education became very important in realizing the difficult path that I had to travel in order to get to where I was going. But it goes back again to what my mom said, believe in yourself and you'll get to where you're going. Obviously, I found that path because I'm with my company for now, this will be my 54th year. But education, as I was started in business and trying to learn the path to where I was going, I felt insecure about the fact that I did not have an education beyond 12th grade because there just was no funds for that. And as I started to get involved in different organizations, one of the biggest things in the philanthropic giving was in scholarships. I felt was very passionate about scholarships, particularly in the nursing industry, particularly because I'm so involved in the hospitals, but scholarships in general. If I have an opportunity to give scholarships, whether it's at the YMCA, whether it's the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, wherever it is, I'm giving out scholarships with the funds that we have. But the honor at Georgian Court University, as I thought about it and receiving it, is they are giving me an honorary degree because of the work that my company has done and the philosophy that I have lived by. And so for me, it's such a great honor. As a matter of fact, Brookdale College also gave me my first honorary degree. And there I was thinking, when I got out of high school and did not have any funds for college and no support, where would I go and how was I going to get to where I was going and what would people think? Well, when I look around the room today, I thank each and every one of you who have embraced me and have been a part of my life, because it's taken me a long way, and there are scholarships that I continue to support today because of that.
Well, thank you for that. Frank Sinatra has nothing on Carol Stillwell.
Oh.
She does it her way.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You should hear it. Here it is, right here. When I thought about my life and my journey, and I was talking to a friend of mine who, actually, we've been friends since 4th grade, and I was thinking about this journey, and she said, Carol, there's nobody probably other than maybe Robin, maybe Serena, people that have known me a long time, but one thing I can say is you sure as hell did it your way. And over here, I have, and now the end is here. And so I face that final curtain. My friend, I'll make it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, 77 soon-to-be years, and I've traveled each and every highway, and much more than that, I did it my way.
And the journey continues, because one of the organizations that you have been aligned with and supporting is 180, Turning Lives Around. There are organizations that are helping folks that are in the most difficult of times, the most difficult of circumstances, and we all walk on the same streets, we go to the same stores, but we don't know what everyone's story is. You know, you compare yourself to what you want to be. Compare yourself to today to what you want to be tomorrow, not what that other person is. You don't know their story. You're not in their shoes. Can you share a little bit about the 180 organization? They're going to be honoring you, what the organization means to you on the work that they do for others.
I'm going to say one thing about 180, and there's a million things that I can say about 180, and I've been associated and proud to be associated with them, and their mission and their vision is that they take families abused, challenged, and under such severe circumstances. But the one thing that they do is they give them hope. They give them hope. They know that they don't walk alone. They walk the road together with the 180. So I will tell you, they provide education, they provide comfort and caring, resources, communication. I am so touched by this organization and so honored to be one of several of the honorees this coming April 20th is it? I'm glad, my memory's not losing myself, but 180 is wonderful. Everybody, when you wake up in the morning, I don't care where your journey is taking you, like you mentioned earlier, Terrence, that you can look at people and think, you know, they have a smile on their face, or you may not know what anybody is facing today or what they went through today when they got up. Don't assume that because they have a smile on their face, their life is wonderful. They may be in great pain, and I can tell you, 180 Turning Lives Around has brought so much comfort, so much support, so much love, but more importantly, they know they don't walk alone.
Thank you so much for that. So And we're gonna open up for questions in a little bit, but we want to also ask you, like, what's the next big thing? Like, Maggie, what's the next big thing with the organization? And also, I want to make sure people know how to reach you, the website, and how do they connect to those resources?
Absolutely. Yes, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to make sure that everyone here knows about our signature annual event, Women Entrepreneurs Rock. If you haven't been yet, you need to come. You're missing something. This will be our 9th year, and at the height before the pandemic, we had up to 450 women come in a single evening to the Stone Pony in Asbury Park. That's why it's called Women Entrepreneurs Rock, to be inspired and to network with women and enjoy food and fun, and it's an amazing event. I had interviewed for this job, and then I went because it just happened to be in October. It's always in that time frame, and it just sold me on this job because just the vitality and the excitement and the intelligence of all the women in that room. So mark your calendars, mid-October. I don't know the date set yet, but it's a not-to-be-missed event, so I want you to make sure you come there. Meanwhile, our website is MOSBDC.com, stands for Monmouth Ocean Small Business Development Center, but I do have some cards. You can reach out to me, too, and stop by Brookdale. We're back in the office most of the time now.
Well, and about Brookdale, I know there's a program and project that's very important to David Stout and the organization there called the Social Impact Collaboratory. It's a newer one that's newer to the organization. That includes, they're going to have programs including master classes, skill development workshops, business pitch competitions, project-based experiential learning opportunities, a lot, leadership development academies, and much more. And your organization would dovetail with that work.
Yes. This has actually been a passion project of my director, who I have to offer her apologies. Jacqueline Mejias Fuertes was supposed to be in this chair this morning, but like a lot of powerful women, she was called to something else. So she apologizes very much that she couldn't be here. But yes, what Terrence is speaking of, she has been advocating for quite a while to have at Brookdale a center, an innovator and a collaborative center like that. And so this is wonderful, and we've been working hand in hand with Vin Gopal for a while, and now it's a budget item on the governor's list. So that's wonderful.
So hats off to David Stout and his team at Brookdale Community College, doing fantastic work. I also graduated Brookdale Community College, one of the most fantastic community colleges in the state and the country, and getting better and better every day with their programming. So tell us the fun fact of the systems here, because Stillwell-Hansen, there's a reason why they're a top company in the country. Give us a little fun fact.
I'm sure this entire group that is sitting here is really going to want me to tell them about the HVAC system that we put in this building when Stillwell-Hansen, and it is a true story.
Is everyone comfortable?
And just in case you don't know, HVAC stands for heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. And way back when Stillwell-Hansen first started, this building, before Mr. Zucker had taken it over and bought the property and built this beautiful facility, we put the heating, ventilating, and air conditioning, and I'm proud to say, in this building. And some of it is still running today.
Yes, and that's why you're comfortable.
That's why I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
And I actually worked here back in 1987, 88, so I was the recipient of that good HVAC.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Carol, you know a lot of the folks that are here, and we're going to open up for questions in a minute. But for the folks that are here and that are watching streaming, and by the way, please share the content. If you're taking photos, share them. Let people know. Link to Stillwell-Hansen and Lakeland, our sponsor, Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce. Link and join. Link to, whoops. You don't have to link. You can just, we finished, that's a speaker. Link to these organizations if you can, and share the word so they can hear this message and hear the news. For the folks, and this ties to the legacy and mentoring, for the folks that don't know where to start and they just need a little bit of guidance, what's that message you want to share with them that gives us the power to push through and say, I can do it, I'm strong, I'm smart, and I'm going to do it. For the folks that are unsure right now, for those young women who are thinking of starting out, or they're changing careers, or there's been a change in their life and they're looking for that different direction, what would be the key, like 3 key things you want them to know that can give them faith in a hopeful future? Sure, Carol and Maggie, yeah, both.
Well, first, I think it starts again with the very word that I used when I started my talk today, and that's about believing in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have some idea of where you think you want to go, number one, but you must believe in yourself. Then what you have to do is try to align yourself with some mentorships. Find somebody that you admire, find somebody that you've met in a coffee shop, or I might say a wine store. I'm just joking. But find somebody. Mentorships today is so very, very important. And so I would say mentorships. Be an intern. I think there's a young lady here that just commented earlier that she's looking for an internship. I didn't quite hear, right, she's sitting right over there. I didn't hear exactly if she had a particular interest, but be an intern somewhere. But find somebody, an individual. All you need is just one contact that will take you along the way. Join an organization, volunteer. It's amazing. In doing that, in doing good for your community, you'll do good for yourself. It'll come back to you tenfold.
Thank you, Carol. Maggie?
I just think you need to tap into every resource available to you. Just like you're saying, there's so many more out there than you realize, and so many more people and individuals that want you to succeed. And so you just turn every stone over, like us, and like you said, there's another organization called SCORE that provides mentors for people. You just got to, seek out everything possible.
Thank you. We're going to open up for a few questions, and I also want to thank, in this room we have multiple generations of leaders, and then our future leaders. And you know what I'd like to do, Jeannie, if we can start right over Homedale High School, a representative from our school system. The K through 12 system is so important in Homedale and everywhere. It's the next generation. How do we help them move forward? And thank you for being here. If you want to introduce yourself, and also if you have a question, because
thanks for having
you're
us.
bringing the students here today, and it's so appreciative.
Yeah, the Wall
We're
family
so
has invited us every month for the Chamber of Commerce meetings, and every month I get a list of at least a dozen students that want to come here. They want to be a part of the community, want to be a part of business. And with these powerful women up over here on stage today, these 2 students that I have in class, one studying accounting, one that wants to pursue restaurant management, we're the first people to respond, say, I want to go, I want to be a part of this, I want to see what's out there. And at such a young age, too. They're 17 years old, and they want to get the edge over other students as well. I know Ava had a question here, and then Jamie did as well. So I'll let them talk, because they can speak for themselves, and they are they are one of the 2 best students that we have at Homedale High School.
Welcome.
Hi, yes. So like I said, I want to study accounting in college, but I'm wondering now, what can I do in high school and obviously in college also that'll help me stand out from other girls?
Maggie, can you answer that one?
In accounting or in just business world?
Just in business in general. So.
Okay. Try everything possible that you can. Don't turn down any opportunity, and don't ever sell yourself short. Too often I hear women say, do you want to be president of this or try, this job or whatever, and they'll say, oh, I don't think I can do that. If somebody asks you, that means they think you can. So take every opportunity like that, always. Assume that they know more than you do about your capabilities.
I just want to get a clarification. Are you a senior this year?
No, I'm a junior.
A junior, okay. One of the things, as Maggie's saying, is and looking for internships. Keep your mind open. You may be taking a position with a company that's offered you an internship, and something you're saying, oh my God, why am I even here? I don't even have any interest in it. But along the way you may find, because I often talk about the fact that life is like a GPS. It's always recalculating our route along the way. But as you, and it is so true of that, but as you do your internships, you may find that in your mind, and I have nothing against accounting, except Where'd my controller go? She's in the bathroom. Every time I ring her phone, she's in the bathroom. But anyway, but I have nothing against accounting. But you may find that that's what you think your path is. But you may find in that road, life is like a GPS. And taking an internship in a company that has nothing to do with accounting, but it's an internship, you may find your path changes. But one thing I will ask of you or advise you of is when you move on to your college career, please take a minor in business. Please, or it could be your major, but you may find that you want to be your own entrepreneur. You may want to start your own business someday, and that will serve you very, very well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one more thing. I often tell people this story because I graduated from college, and I thought the last thing I wanted to go into was sales, right? And my first job at AT&T, they positioned it as, customer relationships and, keeping in touch with them, and it was a consulting job or whatever. Of course it was sales. I would never have taken it if they had described the job accurately to me, and to this day, I'm grateful that I did, because all of life is sales, right? Selling every individual you meet on your perspective or, your priorities or whatever. So I would encourage you to do that too, and especially if you have to sell something that you don't really like, that's even a better challenge, right? It'll serve you well the rest of your life.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you for having us here. It's very empowering. My question is, since I'm at such a young age, obviously I can only imagine I'm going to run into many bumps in the road. Maybe I won't be in restaurant management. You never know. And just wondering, have you guys ever been stuck at just like a fork in the road? And
A plateau?
yeah, and just what have you done to overcome those challenges?
What factors into making that decision? You're at the fork in the road. They say when you're at the fork in the road, take it.
Oh, that's my GPS. I can't see the young lady, so I apologize. I'm kind of like,
She works for Frank at Gabriella's.
Works for?
Frank.
Gabriella's. Oh, at Gabriella's.
Yes, yeah.
I know not to go there on Saturdays and Friday night, and definitely not Thursday.
I know
Love
not
the
to
food.
work there
Yeah.
those days.
There you go. When you're at that crossroad in your, and you're working there, what do you do at Gabriella's?
I'm a host.
A host?
Yes.
Well, there it starts with the first thing that I said. You can teach anybody, a technical side of something, but you can't teach them a personality. I would assume, and I've been to Gabrielle's, I think I've seen you there. So your personality shines. That's what makes an organization a big part of. When you walk through the door, that's the first person they're going to talk to you is you. But you're at a crossroads, so I'm going to tell you my little story about a GPS. Maybe that's not what you want to be. You're at this crossroad. So you're going down the road and you hit a detour. That's where you are right now. You're at a detour. And it says you have to take the road to the left. And you go, I'm not taking that road. I only know this road. But you have no choice. There's a big cone. It's blocking the road, and you can't go down it. So don't be afraid to take the detour. Actually, two things will happen. When you take that detour down that road and you make a decision because you believe in yourself, you may find that you say to yourself, why did I ever go down this road? I hope I never have to go down it again. Lesson learned, because some of my greatest successes in life have been through the mistakes that I made. Or you go down that road and say, wow, I never knew how wonderful this road was. I'm so glad I took that detour and went down this road. Two things will happen. Both will be positive for you. One is that the road was wrong for you, but you knew it, and you did it, and you tried it, or the road was wonderful. Remember, life's like a GPS.
I would only add to that, because you are young, take risks. Take all the risks you can, just like she's saying. Go down that road, jump off that cliff. I mean, when I look back on life, I only regret the risks I didn't take, not the ones I did.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And just a quick note of being host. What you really are is you're gathering a network. So no matter who walks into that restaurant, no matter who walks into that business or that office, if you are the front and center, if you are the face of that organization, you're meeting every single man and woman, regardless of where they stand, from the boardroom to the bathroom, as I call it, they're meeting you. And as you get to know your clientele, you're getting familiar with what people do, where they are, because you're supposed to understand your clients, right? You're supposed to understand the guests as they come in. You're building a database and really a database of a clientele and from all the different businesses that they may be in. And so that's an incredible mental digital Rolodex that you're building there, just in that role that you may look at a little bit differently. And I would suggest looking at it differently. Thank you very much for that question. Jeannie, we have another question? Yes, Mr. Stein.
Thank you so much. Carol, thank you for sharing your story with us. My question for you is about leadership style and corporate culture, especially being the incredible run that you've had, the success that you've had, and the longevity. I think, when you think about what it takes to run a business, especially one, that's had such a tremendous longevity and growth, those two things are really important, and I love to hear what you can share with us about that.
Well, obviously I have a lot of longevity at Stillwell-Hansen. You've already heard this. I can't remember if it's my 53rd or 54th year. I have to do. That's why I don't run the accounting department, but it's one of those in any case. I think that the key to your direction that you go in life or what you're going to do and what we have with regard to Stillwell-Hansen and the longevity is the culture that we've built. There's a culture there that there's not one person that's more important than the next. That door is open. I remember once making a comment to somebody who said to me one day, you treat the maintenance man and the president of the corporation the same. And I said, yes, and your point. And it was maybe 20 years ago. And he said, well, I don't understand. I said, aren't they both the same? They just have different jobs. And that's the way I look at the people in my company. Everyone is important. Everybody contributes something. And they represent the culture of who we are, because that culture is what my late husband Gordon and I believed in, and it was about people. And that if you treated people right and let them understand that they mattered and they were important, I think the success would follow. I'm not sure if that answers your question, but thank you.
Thank you very much. Jeannie?
Good morning. Can each of the panelists share maybe one or two habits you do every day that you think makes you successful? Including Terrence?
Habits? What did you...
Like journaling or meditating or calling all your friends that are here today?
What?
I started about 5 years ago. I'm kind of embarrassed that I might be admitting this now, but one of my New Year's resolutions about 5 years ago was to sing out loud every day. And it just, because I just think it opens up your soul and your spirit, especially in the morning if I'm in a bad mood, make myself do it, and it can change my outlook for the whole day.
Let me think. I have to be very careful about how I answer this question. One or two habits that I do every day, or every morning, or just every day? I think I always make a point. I actually, this phone stays by my bed at night, and I will be candid with you. As you get older, you get up a lot more in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and when I do, I glance down at my phone. I make a point always in the morning to reach out to whomever I get a few emails, and I make sure that I answer them. That's very important to me, that people are reaching out, and whatever it is, whatever their message is that day, I make a point of always answering everybody who has sent me a text or an email or even a message that says, can you call me? I need to talk. So that is one, which takes a great deal of my time. Let me say, what is the other habit I do in the morning? My cat. It's about my cat, okay? I think the SPCA is here somewhere. My cat's name is Dora, and she is the princess of the house. I used to be the princess of the house, but she is the princess of the house. And so when I get up in the morning, it's reaching out and saying good morning to Dora and giving her belly rubs. And no matter what frame of mind I'm in, no matter what messages are there, good or bad, she just starts my day and makes me happy. That's my other.
And I would just say, Carol had mentioned treating everyone the same. I agree. A little earlier, I mentioned from the boardroom to the bathroom, when if you're hosting, you have the intake and you're getting to know people. It's important to treat. We all have good days and bad days, but treat everyone as fairly as you can, and be kind to them as best you can. I tell in the school districts, I say kindness is not a poster on the wall. It's how you treat people every day. But as far as a habit, I was trying to think of one. When I answer the phone, I would, for years, decades, it's Terrence Wall, how can I help you? I don't know who's on the other end. I know they're not calling me for their health. It may be something good and maybe something bad. I don't really know what it is. But that would be, if you're talking about a habit, Terrence Wall, how can I help you? Because it's either something that's needed one way or the other, or helping me with something that I need, or calling to say hello, or what have you. But it's, how can I help you? What can I do for you? What do we need? Because once you finish whatever that issue, there are 10 other issues beyond that. So that would be perhaps, at least a habit of a service mindset, right? And what you give, you will receive. That's not what you do. You do good. You do well by doing good, right? As Monmouth Ocean Development Council said years ago, it's called enlightened self-enrichment. Help other people. It's good for you. It's good for them. It's good for everybody. Now we're going to talk about a new habit. I started intermittent fasting, right, with an app, and I lost 12 pounds in a week and a half. So that's not too bad, right? So that's not too bad. So I'm going to try to stick with that. So maybe in a month from now I'll report back, and if I seem to be just a wisp, Tom, you'll let me know so you can see me. So thank you for that. Yes.
Hi. Is it working? I think so. Yeah. Hi. I'm Deepika. I've known you for a few years, Carol. I'm high regards for you. What will be career advice that you will give to your younger self? What will you say to yourself?
What would be the advice that I would give
to your younger self?
My younger self. Do you mean in my younger days, or?
Yes, like in your 30s, 40s, maybe teens.
I think it still goes back. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. My younger self would believe. And I'll give you a very short story. I was in, well, I don't know if it's short, but I was in Atlantic City maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and I was speaking on behalf of New Jersey Biz. There was a panelist of women that were asked to speak. And there were 4 panelists. 2 spoke on day 1, 2 spoke on day 2. And it was a TED talk. And my director of operations, who's in the back, guides me a lot along the way. And I had never heard, quite candidly, of a TED talk. I thought TED was an individual that talked. What did I know? That's a true story. It is what it is. So when New Jersey Biz said, we want you to come, there's 4 people, and you're going to do a TED talk. I said, oh, okay, I'll do a TED talk. So I went to Rob and I said, how do I meet Ted, or how do I talk to Ted? And she laughed at me, and I didn't know why. And she said, Carol, TED Talk is a method of where you stand up in front of a group of people without, and my podium is like my Linus's security blanket. I love to stand at a podium and talk. I mean, it just makes me feel comfortable. So in the TED Talk, you don't do that, and you stand up and you talk for approximately 50 minutes with no notes. I said, oh my, how am I going to do this? So I listened to the first 2 speakers that day, and I went back to my room that night, and I said to myself, Carol Ann, and my mother, when she wanted my attention, my name is Carol Ann, but I was known, Carol Ann, you better believe in yourself. Because I sat in that room and said, there is no way that I'm getting up tomorrow and give a TED Talk. For a reason that I haven't really shared, but in 1983, I was in a car accident. They gave me my last rites. I was in a coma for 6 weeks, came out of that coma, and was left with some little issues. And one of them was memorizing, to try to memorize. That was very difficult for me. Maybe that's why I am so verbal today and speak off the cuff. I'm a, kind of, as they say, the authentic me is what you're looking at right here. What you see is me. And I said to myself, my goodness, I can't do that. There's no way. And then I said to myself quietly, Carol Ann, you better believe in yourself and figure out how you're going to do this. The following day, I got up to speak. I went over to the head, the Saperco from New Jersey Biz, and said, I have a problem. And she said, what's your problem? I said, I can't do a TED Talk. I said, I cannot, and I can't do it. She said, Carol, I have no problem with that. Why don't you just do a Carol talk? That I could do. And so there I was. I got up and I did a Carol talk.
I like it that you say believe in yourself. You don't say other stuff that other people say, that follow your passion or follow this advice. You say believe in yourself.
That's correct.
Whatever you're doing in that particular moment, believe in yourself.
And that was
I love
my
that.
words when I went to sleep that night, Carol, and I thought about it, and that's when I did a Carol talk. And to this day, they may have a Carol talk somewhere along the way.
Hello, I'm going to ask the question that we're all thinking about. Carol, especially for you. We all have so many interests, and we're all, you know, our heart really goes out to all these causes that really need support, and we would love to be there. But how do you, I'm going to say the B word, everybody, how do you balance your work, your life, your family? How do you prioritize, especially on these amazing boards that you sit on and these amazing causes like 180? You know, the temptation would be, okay, I'm quitting my job and I'm just going to dive all head in. You can't do that. So how do you balance the career, the life, and for both of you, obviously?
Well, clearly Carol doesn't sleep.
Well, I will say this, of recent, and obviously I embrace so many of the organizations that are here today and people that are not here today that reach out. I have calls that say, Mrs. Stillwell, you don't know me, but, and the conversation goes on. But how do I balance it? My director of operations, who is anonymous and doesn't want to be known, she's in the room though, is quite a lot like me in some regards, and it has been getting very difficult because, as you know, I do sit on a lot of boards and I am so passionate about everything. I believe that if I'm going to be on a board, I'm going to participate and be a part of it. I've been very clear about many of the boards that I sit on, that I can't, if I sat on every board and attended every board meeting, I would never be able to be part of the Stillwell-Hansen family that has gotten me to where I am today. This Stillwell-Hansen company has given me the opportunity to do the things that I want to do and the financial support to do it. But you know, when I think about the balance, Robin, sorry about giving your name out, Robin, had said to me, Carol, it is getting tough for you. Because if you looked at my schedule, it is. So she said, maybe what we have to do is figure out if it's hell yes or hell no. I said, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And that was about 4 months ago. Well, we have a new category because we haven't been able to say hell no at all. So it's either hell yes, hell no, or maybe hell maybe. So everything is in the category of yes or maybe. And that's kind of how we balance it. One way or another, we get there. I don't think that there's an organization, if I can't be there personally, I'm there supporting it philanthropically. And philanthropic, I want to just say something about the word philanthropic, because people many times say to me, I want to thank you so much, you know, you're very philanthropic. There are many people in this room, if you look up the word philanthropic, it means giving. And when you think about giving, it isn't just finances, it's your time, your mentorship, your energy. And the greatest gift that anyone here today can give is your time. Is your time, because that's the only thing in life we're not guaranteed. We're not guaranteed. Tomorrow may not be here for us. So I applaud everybody that can give their time. And so what I try to do to answer your question is to balance it some way. If I can't be there, I'm going to make sure we're either supporting it through a donor, you know, through a sponsorship, or even through somebody from my organization being there. But every organization will know that I care because I let them know that.
Thank you so much for that, Carol. So I'd like to first of all, thank again the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce who hosts this event, and Lakeland Bank, our sponsor, as well as Holly Schultz. I don't know if we had another question, but if we don't, I'd like if you'd close us out from the Monmouth Chamber, Jeannie, if you can bring the mic to herself so you can share a few words, and then we'll wrap it up.
Right, and then we're going to wrap it up with a group picture, Terrence, up front there.
Oh yes, everyone please. In a few minutes we're going to have a nice big group picture.
I'd like to thank both of you and Terrence, who does a wonderful job moderating every single month. Powerhouse right there. So much wisdom sitting here, so much love sitting here. I couldn't have asked for a better celebration of Women's History Month with both of you and every single one of you in this room, including the smart men. We always say there's smart men in the room, right? So thank you very much. And to our students, I was an intern, and I will tell you, I made sure my senior year, my last semester, I took an internship with a company. I did television, radio was my background. And I went to Brookdale College. And I said, my last internship is gonna be somewhere where I'm gonna just wow them. They're not gonna want me to leave. I interned at American Express doing corporate video production work, and I worked there for 17 years. So do that. My advice is get a good internship, and I had internships that weren't for me, so try some out. And your future is yours. So again, believe in yourself and do that. The other thing I did was volunteer. When I joined this chamber, I worked the door and greeted people. I was the hostess in a way. And today I'm the executive director. So that works too. So just give, don't think about what you're gonna get back, and your life will be full of surprises and it'll be beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Carol, Maggie, absolutely honored to share the floor with you today.
I'm humbled to have been sitting next to Carol here. I've got to go out and do about 20 more things right away.
Remember, I want the business card. I may have to, get a loan there.
And a thank you to everyone who was here today. I think there'll be a meeting about this time next month. Please check the website, follow Monmouth Regional Chamber, check in. If you're not a member, please join. Shout out to Ming from Shared Universe Podcast. Thank you, Ming Chen. Ming's on the shy side. He was with Richard Dreyfuss yesterday, about 15 hours ago, if you track Ming. So mover and a shaker, and he's got fantastic things going on. And as always, Ralph Zucker, thank you so much. Inspired at Somerset. The work you're doing is incredible. Go to bell.works. Stop by Barbella and look up Bellworks in Chicago. There's so many fantastic things going on in Bellworks. I want to thank the Inspired team of Somerset and the folks that make it great right here in Homedale at Bellworks. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a wonderful day. And we're going to take a group picture, please. If you have one more moment, please join us in the back for a great photo.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Do you want to be sitting or standing? Do you want to be sitting? Yes, she's doing that. Slide the chairs in. Just slide next to Carol. Can you grab the waters and get rid of them?
I did, I got one. You got one. Oh, good.
Excuse me, pardon?
That's great to want to connect with them.